What's up, everybody? As Cam Newton once said, I'm back. The Phillies are back, baby. The Phillies are back dominating. What a freaking win today. We definitely needed it going into the off day before the start of a new series. They got their swagger back. Phillies win 6-1 today. Absolutely amazing win. Had a couple home runs, a couple runs batted in. Absolutely dominant. But I got a special guest on with me tonight. You guys haven't seen her in a while. You guys will see her later in the post game or the podcast. Sorry, this is the post game show. You'll see her later in the podcast. But Ashley, what's going on?
Hi, how are you today?
I'm great. The Phillies finally won. They got out of their 3-game slump. Didn't get swept. So, like Star Wars said here, one more win to 40. Will be the first team to get to 40 if they win on Friday. So,
yeah. And I think it's going to be super exciting that they are going back home. I think that will make the biggest difference, especially.
They suck on the West Coast. I don't think they're used to East Coast time.
Yep.
Anytime you travel, you're used to the time where you come from. So I just think all the weird start times were kind of getting to them. They started at 9:45 last night. They started at 6 o'clock on Monday. So I mean, it was a weird start time. But I mean, they won. They're back to showing how dominant they are. So let's go ahead and get into it. Just go ahead and starting it off, which I need to put on the ticker here so everybody knows what they're watching. Starting it off, Christopher Sanchez, absolutely dominant. One of the best starts of his entire career tonight. Had 6 innings pitched, let up 4 hits, no runs, no earned runs, no home runs, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. One of the lowest ERAs that he's had so far this year. His ERA for this game was a 2.83. He had the lowest ERA of this season. And then the one to top that, his second lowest is a 2.95. So he's sitting at a 3.15 ERA going into the season. I honestly thought that he was going to let up more runs than just 0. I thought that, he's a decent pitcher. I didn't expect him to come in letting up 0 runs. I didn't.
Yeah, no, I was excited when I came home and he was still pitching. To come, to leave. I checked the game, probably in the 2nd or 3rd inning, and then by the time I got home, it was at the end of the 5th. And for him to be pitching that whole time, I was like, okay, he's having a really good game. The fact that we were up 6-0 at one point was a huge confidence builder in him. And also, I think he's just hopefully getting into a rhythm that then we can use him later down the line if we need to as well.
Yeah, and I mean, I couldn't ask for more from our number 4 guy. I mean, again, like I said, this is the best start of his career, in my opinion. I was expecting him, like you said, to go maybe 4 or 5 innings, let up at least 1 or 2 runs. Yeah. But I will say it seems like the batting kind of picks and chooses who they want to get behind. Yeah. And I'm honestly surprised that he was so dominant, especially because JT wasn't catching. It seems like Stubbs, and I know I shit talk on Stubbs all the time. It seems like Stubbs is slowly learning how to command those pitches from his pitchers. Seems like at the beginning of the season, he was kind of having struggles with commanding the certain pitches, what to call. But it seems like he's finally starting to get into the groove of learning his scouting reports. For those of you that don't know, he wears a little wristband on his wrist, kind of similar to football, that kind of gives you all like the cheats and whatnot. So he does have scouting reports for each batter. So I think he's finally starting to get into the groove of, okay, this guy's coming up. This is what I need to call. Let's go from here. Because it seemed like he wasn't able to do that earlier. But he's had a shutout with Sanchez. He's had a shutout with Nola. So, I mean, he's doing well. I just wish he could produce with the offensive side. But the one thing I will say, though, is the bullpen. Bullpen is absolutely lights out lately. I didn't get a chance to watch the full game today. I know Turnbull came in to close. I don't know who was before that. Just because I was at a work thing. But yeah, I mean, the bullpen is just dominant lately. Like, I think we have one of the lowest bullpen ERAs right now, which is absolutely amazing. It's all I could ask for. Dave, if you ever see this, buddy, I'm still hoping for a closer. I still think you should go out and make a splash before the trade deadline. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I couldn't ask for more. So was it Sir Anthony Dominguez? Thank you, Star Wars. I appreciate you, man. Dude, I didn't even realize he went out because, I mean, normally when he goes out, he lets up a run or two. So for me to learn that it was Sir, that's good for him, man. I mean, like, he's been dominant lately. I just hope he continues to be dominant because he's one of like those guys that's kind of the flip of a coin, right? You flip a coin, one day it's kind of, oh, you're shit. One day you flip a coin, it's, oh, you're super dominant. I really just think it depends on the team he's playing. The Giants are kind of a scrappy team. They're, right there at 500. So that's my other question too. I'm going to leave you guys with this before I ask Ashley for her opinion. Does this count as a 500 team? Because I mean, like before they came in, I think they're even over 500 right now. So
yeah, I think it counts as a 500 team. Absolutely. I think they are, again, West Coast teams are just different, as we've kind of talked about with just even where they play, elevation, all of those fun things, right? But the fact that we had 2 crappy games, right? I mean, there's no denying that both of those games, the last 2 nights, were crappy. But the fact that they came out and played like a good, well-oiled machine today, right? We did not fumble to the finish line. We ran to that finish line. And I think those are the types of things that we need to be seeing in order for at least my confidence to be in the Phils. I know you will see it more. We will talk about this more specifically during the 302 Birds podcast. Please tune in if you were not planning to already. But last week we were high on the Phils, and I'm very curious to see thoughts around the board after this series. But one bad series does not determine a season, especially when you're not in October. It really is just how we adapt to that, and they bounce back in the best way today.
Yeah, and I mean, we all knew after the hot start they got off to, we were going to hit a brick wall eventually. They're going to have kind of a slump. I'm glad that they got it out of the way now before later in the season, so that way they can adjust and see what they need to fix. Going back to what I said before Ashley came on, the Giants are 29-28, so we did beat a above 500 team. Just want to let everybody know. Rays fans, above 500 team. You guys can't beat them either, so we're kind of in the same boat. But moving on, I don't want to take up too much of Ashley's time. I know she is busy prepping for the podcast later tonight. Guys, when we come back on, I think Friday, I lied. Friday's the 31st. I can't remember what days have 31 and what days have 30 days.
Yep. Saturday.
We come back on Saturday. June Kyle is incoming. I said in the Discord, for those of you that aren't in the Discord, join it. I said in the Discord before the game started that it would be nice if Kyle had a leadoff home run tonight, and he did. He had a leadoff home run, but I'm happy to see that Kyle's finally starting to kind of get into the rhythm. He had a home run tonight. He did have a home run, I think, on Monday. I know we're kind of off with our days. I think if he starts heating up and getting these leadoff home runs, we'll be in a good spot. Most of the time when he does get a leadoff home run, we end up winning the game like you see tonight. So I think if he can kind of set off that tone, and even if it's not a home run, if he can just set off the tone with a single, double, triple, whatever, it kind of gets the other guys going. It gets them fired up. So I'm excited to see what happens with Wawa's favorite employee come June time.
June Kyle is just built different. I don't know. Every season, I just get really, really excited to see what he does. Last season, he set his most amount of home runs hit in June. I can't remember what it was, but it was something absolutely astronomical that should not be possible. I am so incredibly excited. The fact that he got the leadoff homer today, he's getting ready for June. June is almost here, which I think is just crazy, but I cannot wait to see what he does in June and the momentum that gives this team. For sure.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the momentum either. Like Star Wars said here, he did get 2 hits. I believe he got a home run, and I want to say a single double. A lot of guys had doubles today, which is great to see. But I will say that Giants field is just weird. They have that weird right field, where the drink is. So whatever. So I mean, Kyle's heating up. It's good to see. I'm really hoping that that slump was kind of all that we're going to see for the next couple games. We're playing the Cardinals next, so I'm hoping that they kind of go into this series with a chip on their shoulder, with the confidence on their shoulder. I'm going to Sunday's game, seeing Walker pitch, so it can go either way. But we'll see what happens. But actually, I know you have to hop off just so that way you can get ready for the show. I don't want to keep you too long, so I appreciate you hopping on.
Yeah,
Always
thanks for
chatting
having
with
me.
you.
Yeah, and I will see you soon. And I go Phils, and I hope to see all of you who are currently hanging out with Shard over here to come and hang out with the rest of us at 9:05. Have a good night, guys.
See you guys.
Bye.
Yeah, so for those of you that don't know, at 9:05 they'll be doing a 302 Birds podcast. So definitely tune into that. Check that out. It's always a great show, always great people. So like David said here, before we get into our next topic, Sunday Night Baseball this weekend. We do play Sunday at 7:10. I'm going to that game. I believe Dalt also posted on our Instagram that we're doing a meetup. So it's going to be me. It's going to be Brendan. It's going to be Dalt. So for any of you that are going to the game on Sunday, if you guys want to meet up with us, go ahead and check out Instagram. Dalt did post the details. Also join our Discord. We do, meetups in the Discord. We post all the information. We post everything in there, all the details. Would love to see you guys. That would be amazing. But going into our next topic, Harper, dude, you got to get that temper under control, man. I don't know what it is lately. He's just freaking pissed off as fuck. But, he had a really bad first at bat. Almost looked like he blew out his back. Went down to the dugout. Was swinging his bat around at all the helmets. Swinging at things, hitting things. Went down the ramp, got checked out. Came back. And then, he had an at bat where, it hit the knob of his bat, which I get it. I get that, most of the time when Harper's been hit lately, unfortunately, he's missed time. I get it. He gets hit in a certain part of his body. He gets hit in the face, in the leg, in the arm. I get it. You're pissed off. You're pissed off that you're in a 3-game slump. I get it. But I don't think that fight personally was needed. I also don't think that the Phillies should have gotten a warning. Both teams got a warning. I don't agree with that. I don't think anybody should have gotten a warning just because the way it happened. Whatever. But I mean, it is what it is. Harper, you're kind of cold some games. You're kind of hot other games. So as long as he can heat up, he'll be fine. But I think that whole fight was kind of ridiculous and not needed. Looking at the comments here, David, if you want to meet up, buddy, let us know. We will be there. So always love to see you. We are trying to get some fan interactions as well to put in the intro, to put some kind of video together. So if you want to meet up, let us know. Trying to look through the comments here as well. Like Star Wars said, yeah, that fight today. I don't even think it was a fight, really. Like I said, I was at work. I kind of checked in here and there. So it is what it is. But yeah, Harper got angry. He's kind of that veteran where I'm really hoping he doesn't get angry. He kind of shows the guys that, hey, it's okay to get mad. It's okay to get angry. We don't need to really fight and clear the benches, but whatever. This isn't going to be a longer show, though. I am going to get into the last topic here just because it is me tonight. But to close out, we are back to winning. We are back to, the same Phillies that we know and love. The Phillies do win today 6-1 against the Giants. Unfortunately, they do lose another series. Whatever. Not the end of the deal. We know that, it's a long season, 162 games. They're not going to win it all. Doesn't matter. I just want to see consistent baseball. I don't think they should have went into a 3-game slump because the last couple games were absolutely winnable. Last night, I didn't watch because it was late. I worked all day. I know that it went to the 10th inning and they freaking lost in the bottom of the 10th by 1 run. Astronomical. That's fucking ridiculous, but whatever. But again, I'm just hoping that they take these losses, which it seems like they did today. I'm hoping that they take these losses and they look at them, they learn from them, and they come back and they, dominate. And they're playing the Cardinals this weekend. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. So that way we can look. All right, so they are playing the Cardinals this weekend. They're playing the Cardinals, then the Brewers. I might go to the Brewers series because I do want to see Reese come back, but I think he's still out. The Cardinals right now, they are 27-27, so they are a 500 team going into Friday. So, if we do beat them, we did beat a 500 team, Braves. It counts. So we'll see what happens. It seems like every time we beat 500 teams, because we beat them, they are sub 500. So it just doesn't count, but we'll see what happens. I think it'll be a fun series. I think it'll be, I don't want to say easy because I don't think any team is really easy per se. But I think that we'll be able to take the series. I don't think we'll sweep. I think they'll get one in Philly. We'll see what happens. I think the Phillies are pissed, though. We are coming home. They want to show how dominant they are. Friday is a City Connect game. They love playing in the City Connects. So we'll see what happens. But so Friday is 6:40, Saturday is 7:15, and Sunday is 7:10. We're back to regular, start times on the East Coast. So that's always great to see. Standings wise, go ahead and pull up the standings. We are 39-18. We're back to, hovering between 5 and 6 games just because we had that little skin. As long as we can stay 5 or more games above, I think we'll be fine. Not really worried about the Nationals, Mets, or Marlins. They're what they are. So Mets got absolutely dog-walked by the Dodgers. The Braves and the Nationals, I think, are playing right now. So, they're playing right now. It's 0-0. They're playing a 4-game series. Nationals took the first one. Braves took the second. So we'll see what happens in this game. Hopefully they lose. Hopefully the Nationals will beat up on the Braves. We'll see. But we are 5.5 games ahead. Hopefully it'll be 6 by the end of tonight. But that's all I have for you guys tonight. Phillies do win 6-1. They're back to dominating. They're back to doing their thing. Hopefully this continues. Off day tomorrow, we won't be on. But if you want to keep watching Phillies, you want to see some different perspectives, definitely check in with the 302 Birds podcast tonight. I believe Tommy will be on. I believe Dalt will be on. All the normal guys will be on tonight. So we'll see what happens. But always good to see different perspectives. So on that note, Shard going off. Was great having you guys. And so Marsh, go ahead and take us out.
I take Stubby, I take Pache. Oh, what's the name?
Yeah, give me a name.
Stay loose.